what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mix It Up podcast. I am Mike. Nick is not with us this week. He's out in Cali. He's probably on his book tour, number one seller on Amazon right now. So he's probably out doing that. And he had to go out there for work. So he's missing this podcast when I'm like, why don't you just do it from Cali? What are you too busy looking at, you know, all the girls, all the California girls out there in their Daisy Dukes bikinis on top, licking popsicles? Oh, right. You're too busy for that. I get it. I get it. I wouldn't do a podcast either with my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'd skip out. I'd be like, nah, too busy. Too busy out there catching waves out in Cali. So have fun, Nick, out there on your book tour. So Nick is out this week. So I'm just gonna do this podcast by myself, check in with you guys. Shout out to you guys for listening, man. We definitely appreciate you. All the countries that are listening. I see you pop up on my Spreaker. Besides the United States, we got a lot of other countries. I think they're listening. I don't think they're just trying to steal our identities. I really do believe they're listening. So shout out to you guys. But I had an idea for a show that me and Nick could do, like a documentary. And I thought about it the other day. It just popped in my head. And I was like, I can't wait to tell Nick. But I had to tell him over the phone. So I texted him. And I was like, dude, I got an idea for a documentary. And I'm going to tell you about it. So he calls me this morning. And I tell him about the idea. And Nick was like excited about it. I was very happy to hear that he was like into it. He's like, wow, I kind of like that idea. So I'll tell you guys the idea. So we talk a lot about spirituality, religion, all that crap on the Mix It Up podcast. We talk about everything. So I had an idea, right? Me and Nick, right? Us two, the people that you love and watch every week, you like and subscribe. We would go on a documentary, right? To all the religions that we could possibly hit up. So I don't know how we would do it. Like we would probably do something like, all right, we start off like go to like Catholic church or whatever, right? Have somebody film us, like maybe one or two people that could use you can record us on like an Apple iPhone nowadays because it comes in so clear. We just have to have somebody edit it, or we could edit it. So you have like one or two people film us while maybe we're, you know, in church at the event. Maybe we could interview the leader. I mean, whoever the leader is of that religion. I'm sure there'll be a couple cults in it that we come across. And, we'll go to all the different religions we can, film it, talk about it. And of course, I'm going to joke about it. I'm not, I mean, but I will take it seriously. I figure me and Nick will go in there in these religions. We'll go in there with like an open mind, you know, like almost like as atheists. And then you people try to convert me, you know? And I think it'll shed light. I never really seen it like a documentary like about this out there. And it'll shed light on like, all the different religions out there. I think it could be something. It would give our perspective. We would interview these people. Um, they would show us at events. Can you imagine like, me and Nick going to like, not just like regular church, but like just to show up like at like random churches, like, it'll be crazy. It'll be absolutely crazy. Like, I think it'd be a good idea. I think people be interested in like watching it, seeing it, and then maybe like one of us gets like converted, you know, maybe like in a year from now, like, holy shit, like Trainer's an Orthodox Jew. Could you imagine? Like, it's just like, I don't know. I think it'd be a really like fun idea to do. And obviously we would definitely take it serious, but there would definitely be jokes involved. So we have to try to keep it like Yeah, keep it like real. Keep it like, open-minded, funny, educational, all that. We would have to set up like some kind of like you know, like framework of the show. Maybe they show us interviewing first the leader or the head guy of the religion, show us like being part of it, you know, and I think it'd be great. Imagine like, me and Nick at like a whole like black church. And you know how black churches get down. They fucking dancing and shit, and everybody's happy, fucking going around. And I mean, imagine us two in the middle of that. How fucking great would that be? You know? And then would of course, so like I would definitely see like all the other, religions that I've come across or heard about through friends, Lima Bean Uso. Of course, we would go see Gnosis. I would definitely I want to interview Lima Bean Uso, maybe like a little like a part interview about it, but I want to interview like a top level guy that knows stuff. Like I don't want to interview Lima Bean Uso when this motherfucker tells me like if I ever fucking like if I ever get shot and I'm bleeding, Lima Bean Uso like, oh, just eat some grapes, then you'll be fine and it'll heal up. Just kidding, Lima Bean. But it would go into like we would get down to like the details about it, and it'd be a nice thing to do, like every week to just like maybe hit up a new religion, edit it, get it out there, put it up on our YouTube channel, and go from there. I think if anybody has an idea of like you know any ideas of like how you would want to see the show like formatted, definitely please reach out when any ideas. And the email, the podcast, so you can reach us, on Twitter at the Mix It Up Pod, and give us some ideas, some framework, and if you like the idea, maybe you hate the idea, but like, yo, why would you do this to yourself? So I'm like, listen, football's over on Sunday, so like my schedule is fucking wide open, you know. So yeah, we would definitely do that. I mean, there's a lot of fucking religions out there, bro. There's like, according to like my research, there's like 4,000 religions out there. I mean, that's a lot of shows. I don't think there's. I mean, they have like, of course, like that they kind of generally like categorize it like Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, all that, and then they kind of like people on social media or Google, whatever you want to like look up, they try to like they list the religions. They kind of generalize that in those four like groups. But then they have like things like what are the top 25 religions of the world? What's the number one religion of the world? And then like globally, Christianity has the largest following apparently. You know, so that's like 31%, and then the Muslim is like 25%. Jews have the smallest population of major religions, but I don't know, it seems it seems a lot bigger to me. But hey, listen, well, that's the goal. So if like I said, if you have any ideas, hit us up. But we're also looking for a couple people to film it. So obviously, film it with you know the uh the iPhone of us, interacting in this religion, going to the events. It'd be a lot easier to record like when we're having an interview because you just sit the camera down, hit record, and you could just interview the people like right there. But it'd be definitely be fascinating. I'm kind of interested in it because listen, I'm not atheist. I'm spiritual, but I'm just more interested in like how everybody gets like sucked into these religions, because some people are just born into it. Some people, have like, trauma in their life and they're looking for something, so they go into it. Some people are lost and then they find religion that they get into. And some people, for all sorts of reasons, get into religion. They think, maybe that's their, you know, way into, you know, kingdom or heaven, or like, whatever you believe. You know what I mean? It's really like whatever the heck you believe. I don't want to say he double hockey sticks. I don't want to, but yeah, so that's what we're doing. You know what I mean? I think that's the game plan. We're gonna look more into it, and we'll go from there. We'll see what happens. So that's the plan right now. All right. All right, so moving on. We got to get into some, well, I got to get into some topics this week. See what's going on around the world right now. All right. So, still football season. Said it before. We got the NFL, the National Football League, has announced their commitment to the LGBTQ, all the other letters, community, with a night of pride at the Super Bowl. It's to help enlighten defamatory media coverage against gay and lesbian demographics. Listen, I don't give a fuck what you like to do in your personal life. If you like football, hey, listen, we can be friends. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you're a lesbo. I don't care. I don't give a shit. You want to fucking hang out, watch football? You want to gamble? So be it. I don't give a shit. No trannies though. Trannies are fucking weird. But listen, the NFL's been doing it for like a couple years now. They're making a big push on social media right now. How they're saying their commitment to this community, because it kind of like comes out on the heels, because we're speaking about religion apparently this episode. It comes on the heel of the NFL. You know, it's crazy what they did. I don't know if people know CJ Stroud. He's a quarterback of the Houston Texans. On NBC a couple weeks ago, he won a game. He praised Jesus Christ as Savior, right? And NBC cut it. They cut that part out of the interview, which is crazy. Like, why would they just leave it in? He's just saying, like, yeah, he praised Jesus. Like, we see that all the time. You know, these motherfuckers, when they hit a home run, they point up to the sky, like, oh, thank God, like God, like, helped them hit a home run. I mean, I don't know. Maybe. Maybe he was fucking gambling on you. Who the fuck knows? Maybe he had you hitting a home run to fucking win 500 up in, the pearly gates. So this guy, CJ Stroud, man, he just praised Jesus. NBC caught him. And he came on like a bunch of other interviews saying, like, he's just praising Jesus Christ. And all of a sudden, that came out. Now people are starting to see the actual interview, seeing his praise on social media. So now all of a sudden, the NFL has to be like, hey, we're supporting the gay people, the gay rights. That's all like fine and dandy, but it's just like it's a little weird. Like, you don't cut that out. You're praising that, but you don't let this guy praise Jesus Christ for his situation. I just found it like really weird. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know why NBC would cut that out. Maybe NBC like is they're run by the devil. Like, who the fuck knows anymore? But I just found it like really crazy. It's really uncalled for. Like, who cares? We see NFL players, baseball players, NBA players. They're always thanking God. But I guess when they say they thank God, it's like, oh, God. Like, God is kind of like general. So it's like, hey, God could be anything. You know what I mean? So maybe that's what it is. So when he's saying Jesus Christ, and then people get like maybe offended by it now, because that's the times we're living in, who the hell knows? But needless to say, a little strange. and the timing's a little weird. But staying on sports, all right, there's another story going around. Sports Illustrated, right? They laid off, Sports Illustrated, the magazine. We all seen the swimsuit edition of Sports Illustrated. Kate Upton, you know, bang, centerfold, gorgeous. Sports Illustrated just let go of everybody, every fucking writer, everybody that fucking worked there, right? And I just find it funny because this comes off the heels of Sports Illustrated putting, an obese woman on their cover like a few months back or last year, whatever it was. And then they put a man dressed up as a woman on their cover of Sports Illustrated. So it's like, I mean, if that don't say it all, like, listen, hey, listen, get woke, go broke, right? People just aren't going to put up with that shit, and trust me, I know. People stop fucking drinking Bud Light because of this whole fucking get woke, go broke shit. So we talked about that on this podcast before. So I mean, like, listen, that's what happens. Whoever's in charge of making these decisions at this company, like, get them the fuck out of here. Like, you put a dude on a cover, you know what I mean, of Sports Illustrated, dress up as a woman, and you don't expect to have like people not buy your fucking magazine anymore? Like, really? You know, who wants to go to Sports Illustrated, right? I'm buying Sports Illustrated. Oh my god, I can't wait to see Kate Upton, right? In the fucking centerfold. And then all of a sudden, Kate Upton has a dick. Nobody wants to see that come out in the middle of the fucking Sports Illustrated magazine. But that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing to us. They're trying to like normalize this kind of shit. It's fucking strange. But listen, you go woke, you go broke. That's what it is. These fucking people. I mean, these people that just get these jobs, they're making really terrible decisions, and they're costing like these companies like a lot of fucking dollars, man. A lot of dollars. So say goodbye to Sports Illustrated. Bye bye, bye bye, Sports Illustrated. Wild, man. Very strange. Strange times we're living in. Well, listen, I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. I gotta get a little drink in me. Then I'm gonna come back on the podcast. Gonna talk about some other crazy topics going on in the world. So you know, don't go nowhere. Be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to the Mix It Up podcast. I'm Mike. Nick is still out in Cali. All right, so some more topics going on in the world. Man, it looks like Trump Biden. We're gonna get a rematch. It's happening. Round two. Here we go. More division in this country, more people fighting each other. Oh, I can't wait. Actually, I really can't. I'm over it. I'm really over it. It's just like this is just so bad now. I'm trying to like compare it to like the Rocky movies. It's not like it's not a sequel, in my opinion. It's like we skipped over Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, and went straight to like Rocky like 8, where he had brain damage. Because it's like we have a guy in office right now that has brain damage. Like this guy Biden, he can't remember shit. You know, he gets off the podium. He has no idea how he got there in the first place. He just walks in like completely different directions. He can't even answer like regular questions. You know, I think one time he said he had to go to the bathroom and he just like left. you know, I mean, what the fuck? Are you gonna vote for this fucking guy? And then the other guy is fucking mentally ill. I mean, it's Trump. I mean, listen, I'm gonna probably vote for him, but he's still mentally ill. I'd still rather have Trump. Make America great again, please. Stop sending money to fucking Ukraine so you can launder it. Close to fucking borders. Stop letting in fucking terrorists and anybody that wants to come in. It was never like this before. I mean, I go by like I'm up in Bedford Hills, right? I'm doing my job like one day in a week, and I found out there's like 15 migrants living in this upstairs hotel next door to like one of my accounts. And I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, something seriously wrong with that, you know? Like, why are they letting these people in? I got no offense to like the good people that want to come here, but if you want to come here, come the right way that everybody else did before this fucking madness started happening. You know what I'm saying? Imagine me going to like Congo and be like, hey, I live here now. Imagine I just fucking show up. Yeah, I'm living in Bongo, Congo, and I'm just gonna fucking squat right here, and you have to give me a cell phone, you have to give me food, give me all the fucking coconuts you got hanging on those trees. It's mine now. Like it's absolutely insane. I mean, how we living like this? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. I understand America's like very wealthy. We're compared to other countries where we are very well off, and that's why a lot of people want to come here. Listen, I get all that shit, but if you want to come here, do it the fucking right way. Take the test. Learn English. The you know that would help. It's just fucking crazy, man. It's just really crazy. We're just spending way too much money on this, all this fucking garbage. It's crazy. It really is. We're supporting like this war is going on, man. We're supporting this fucking crazy war of the Jews, like genocide of the Palestine people. Like I can't help it. I see this shit come across my timeline, when I'm scrolling through Twitter or whatever, and you see these fucking horror stories like, women and children, man, getting killed. You know, it's very tough, man, because I know I know a lot of Jews, you know what I mean? And yeah, I know some Palestine people actually. So and you start seeing like the Palestine support with a lot of protests going on around the globe, not just New York City. And then you get the hate. You see like the Jew hate, like a lot of Jews go after these people, the Palestine people that support Palestine, and they're going after them on Twitter, like, how can you support that? They flew in on parachutes and killed us. Listen, Hamas, that group, that terrorist group, flew in on parachutes, and they committed a horrible fucking slaughter of fucking innocent people. Like, of course, I would be pissed fucking too if I was, Jewish. But if you see like a small group, a terror group, say you see them in, say you see them in Bedford Hills, New York, right? But you're like, oh, we got to get those terrorists. So instead of just blowing up Bedford Hills, you blow up the entire New York State with women and children living there. Innocent people like are dying. And if you don't see that, that's like a genocide of the Palestine people. Like, I mean, it's just so evil and wrong. I mean, I see, and I'm gonna shout out to like the Jews. This Jews that support the Palestine people, right? I see that too on my social media, and then these other Jews that are so wrapped up in their religion, they go after them. Meanwhile, they just want like a regular person like me not to see this shit, not to see their whole fucking community and whole like livelihood getting destroyed. Like all these fucking buildings are fucking torn to shreds, besides the innocent women and children dying. Like it's really sickening to see that. It's just it's just really fucking sad. You keep seeing this shit pop up on social media, and US is supporting this shit with their money that they're giving to like Israel. Israel, man, I tell you, they're wrong. They're fucking wrong. And this goes back a long time. Like people got to start doing their history. Because in Israel in 1960, right? This is 1960. They bombed the USS Liberty, right? Our ship, knowing it was one of our ships, because the ship caught chatter of them talking about how they were killing thousands of Palestinian Palestinian children. Israel were calling them, cattle or dogs. This is all facts. This is all shit that happened. I mean, to call them like to think they're just not people, like it's fucking sick. And remember, they need terrorism like that. Israel needs terrorism as a pretext. Remember that word, pretext, to bring in the modern police state. I mean, hence, look at Gaza right now. It's just buildings torn to shred. I mean, they were bombing, you know, hospitals, fucking residential neighborhoods. And their excuse was like, oh, you know what? Hamas was hiding behind innocent people. Yeah, so you just get to blow them out. You don't send in troops on the ground to like get these fucking fuckers out. What are you doing? And this is just going on, and everybody's just living their daily life, and people, are fighting with each other. The Jews versus Palestinians, Palestinians versus Jews, the Jews that going against the Jews that support the Palestine people and then don't want this shit to happen. It's all a fucking mess. It's all people just yelling at each other. You know, take fucking religion out of it for a second. Just because you grew up Jewish or you grew up that way doesn't mean you have to support the murder of innocent women and children. I mean, look what the fuck is going on over there. It's just, besides all the fucking killing and shit, the, these fucking people are resorting to eating like animal food, like dog food and shit like that, cat food, because they can't get fucking food in there. And I mean, they're saying that it could be like the Hamas terror group fucking firing on aid, trying to get aid into this shit. I mean, there's so much like information out there, like you just have to go through and see, what the fuck. But I'm not trying to just pick on like the Jew side of things, you know, even though I see a lot of fucking shit. You just don't go in and just destroy their whole fucking strip of fucking Gaza like this. This is absurd. But of course, on the other side of it too, of course they're fucking, these terror groups. Like, you don't want to support that either. Like, there's a misconception that, people that are supporting Palestine with the protests down in New York City and everywhere else, that they're supporting Hamas, a terrorist group. That's not the case. They're not supporting a terrorist group. They're basically supporting just basic human rights. Like, what the fuck? I mean, now there's like stuff coming out in Gaza that, women and girls are using tent scraps, tent, where you live in, sometimes where you go out camping. They're using tent scraps in place of period products just because they can't get their hands on any shit out there. I mean, can you imagine? Just imagine, like, put yourself in any of those people's shoes and just try to like, live a life, and then all of a sudden, like, you're a kid and you see your fucking parents get blown up, and then you're an orphan, or your parents and you're seeing like kids get blown up and dying, right in front of you. Like, we live in 2024 now, and this shit is still fucking going on. These fucking two groups of fucking people over religion or land or whatever the fuck they believe in have been fighting for how fucking long? Like, when are you just gonna put it to fucking bed? It's fucking very frustrating. Sorry, but I think people should know. People should definitely know. There's a lot of fucking. There's a lot of shit with that. Just do your research, see what's happening out there, and just because you grew up a certain religion, I mean, take that out of the equation and just look at it as a human being. You know, it's just fucking sick, really sickening. All right, I had to get that off my chest. Okay, but I'm gonna take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with hopefully some more shit. We'll see. We'll see.
Do it when it crushes.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mix It Up podcast. I am Mike. Nick is still out on book tour. All right, guys. So I know it was a little deep in the second part of the podcast. All right, I know I went deep, went a little deep. All right, so I'll try to lighten it up a little bit, I guess. I'll see. But people are stupid. All right, the general population is pretty fucking dumb. A lot of mouth breathers walking around on this planet. You know, maybe they ain't dumb. Maybe they're just asleep. Maybe they're brainwashed by all the propaganda spreading in the news. You know, I mean, that could be it. But we've gone, as a people, we've gone through like a lot of shit. And I gotta tell you, it all starts with like going back to the I don't know, everything the last couple of years. I mean, look what's going on right now. The cost of living, the last like 3 years under the Biden administration, it has gone up like 20 to 60%. You know, remember like, and by the way, our paychecks have stayed the same. So the cost of living, groceries, gas, you know, food, all that shit, anything it costs to fucking live it has gone up. Housing, rent, you know, shopping at Toys R Us, whatever the case may be, it has gone up. But you know what stayed the same? Our fucking paychecks. That should never change. You know what I mean? That shit never fucking that never fucking went up. All right, but let's go up 60% on like food, groceries, lettuce, shit that you'd milk, eggs, shit that you'd like need to like eat and survive. Let's make you, make a choice of, hey, listen, do I get eggs this week or do I get milk? You know what I mean? It's really crazy. And you listen, it's fucked up for a lot of people because they want to make it like where the elitists get all the money and then the poor people don't get, you know, don't get shit. That's kind of how it is. That's kind of how you can see like it really coming to fruition that that's the case. Remember after COVID, like the stimulus? Remember we got the stimulus? They gave us like $1,000, nice little check in the mail after COVID. I mean, basically, that's the equivalent of them just showing up to my house and just throwing a bag of pennies at my head. Some fucking government worker just showing up, have a bag of pennies, like, here, motherfucker, boom, hit me on the fucking side of the head. Like, they gave us fucking pennies, right? And they told us, just shut the fuck up, just take this fucking thing. And then all of a sudden, like, a couple years later, uh, you know, I have to choose between getting lettuce or an oil change. It's crazy. It really is fucking crazy. Like they gave us that stupid stimulus, right? Everybody's like, "Oh, we love Biden. We love him. We're gonna get fucking money." Little do they know, they're gonna get their money back and then some later on. You know what I mean? It was a cock tease. Part of my French, but that's what it was. You know what I mean? Ugh, terrible, man. Terrible. And I tell you, the government, they're really against us. They're against the people. I'm sorry. But listen, most of us, we put in 8 hours a day, right? 40 plus hours a week, you know? When does the government show up for us? Oh, you know when they show up? Every fucking Friday. They fucking come, they take half the money I make, right? That they feel entitled to, by the way, right? They take half my money right there on the spot, make up shit, state, federal, potholes, loopholes, whatever the fuck they want to say, the lettuce tax, whatever the fuck they want to fucking go with, right? And then on top of that, I'm responsible for keeping track of my money I make, right? And then once a year, I have to file that. And if they determine that their cut is not good enough for them, they were like, you know what? We want more. They're going to send you another fucking thing in the mail. And they threaten you like, hey, if you don't fucking pay this, we're going to fine you. And if you don't fucking pay the fines, we're going to threaten you with jail time. Okay? Taxation? Sounds like a criminal organization to me. Am I right? It's fucking crazy. Look at all the fucking money they take out of our fucking paychecks. There's not that many fucking potholes. It's the fucking biggest scam. It's the biggest scam. And it all goes back. I would have to say it all goes back to our education system. All right. I'm not talking about our teachers that are teaching like the young kids, values, learning, math, skills, writing, all that shit. I'm not talking about you guys, but the education system sucks. And you want to know why it sucks? Because the owners of this country don't want us to be smart, George Carlin. I'm not talking about the puppet politicians of this world. I'm talking about the wealthy elitists, with their business interest that they own the media and the information that is getting to us. They own all the important land. They own and control the corporations. They own the Senate, the Congress. They got the judges in their back pocket. They spend billions of dollars lobbying to get what they want. They want more for themselves and nothing for us. They don't want a population of people that are capable of critical thinking. Okay? They don't want that. They want a bunch of mouth breathers walking around. I mean, why do you think there's no list of the pedophiles from the Jeffrey Epstein list? All right, that went away. Didn't that go away pretty quick? Remember, we were supposed to get a list of names, and they kind of teased us, and then all of a sudden, like, they just like, yeah, fuck it, we're not gonna put it out. It's the owners that own this. We got to wake up. Why are we fighting over Trump or Biden or any of these fucking politicians? It's just not right. It's just not right. We need to fucking wake up. Wake the fuck up already. One day we'll all fucking wake up. I'm telling you. Yeah, it's crazy. Speaking of like the whole COVID thing, how we got like, it's nice that we got the stimulus or whatever, but there's like a lot of like bullshit that went on, during that time that I think people forget. So I'm gonna play you something that came out, right before the whole mask mandate, the whole COVID vaccine mandate. I'm gonna play you this right now. This is before the whole shit started.
I wouldn't demand to be mandatory, but I would do everything in my power. Just like I don't think masks have to be made mandatory nationwide.
Can we mandate vaccines across the country? No, that's not a role that the federal government, I think, even has the power to make.
We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't.
No, definitely not. You don't want to mandate and try and force anyone to take a vaccine. We've never done that. We don't want to be mandating from the federal government to the general population.
it would be unenforceable and not appropriate.
Can you imagine? So that was the whole before the whole fucking craziness. So remember, this is like that was Biden, by the way, Pelosi, Fauci, of course. You could always tell by his dumb little rat voice, his little fucking mousy Mickey Mouse fucking voice. Fauci. Who made that guy? That fucking guy got so popular they started having like fucking magazines and shit show up to his house doing fucking little interviews and shit, man. Fucking crazy. But anyway, that was them right before the whole crazy shit went down of like forcing us to wear masks, forcing us to get this shot. Um it was a crazy time because remember, like at the time, they were trying to scare us, you know? They were like, hey, you have to get the shot so you don't spread it to your neighbor. You have to get the shot so you don't die. And it was like, Jesus Christ, dude, they were scaring us even before the vaccine came out. They were scaring us, stay away from everybody, stay 6 feet away. Like that made any fucking sense. If people were like, no, I can't go. I have to stay 6 feet away from you. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, hey, listen, they got me. They fucking tricked me. Because I was like, you know what? This is some shit going around. I don't want to catch it. I'm not going out. And that lasted probably like a good month. I was like, you know what? I ain't leaving this fucking house. I don't give a fuck. But then I was like, this is crazy, man. I'm going out. I'm going back to work. My job, kept going on. I was an essential business, so I was lucky enough to work during the pandemic. I guess lucky enough. A lot of people just chilled and, went on a fucking vacation, got fat, you know what I mean? Got food delivered to the house, got wrecked every night. I gotta admit, I do have to admit, I enjoyed the whole fucking COVID, like lockdown shit. I was fucking chilling, man. I was drinking, I was fucking partying. I was like, listen, I work, but there's a lot of accounts that didn't want me to go in there. So I just made a lot of phone calls from home or whatever. I was eating, partying, playing online poker. I'm like, yo, I was on a fucking vacation, man. That's what I treated it. I treated it as a vacation. But getting back to what, before what I was doing during that, it was crazy because these motherfuckers, they said this before the fucking whole shit went down, where then all of a sudden they scared you into taking the vaccine, right? They were fucking trying to scare you. You have to get it. You don't want to die. You want to protect your babies, and then all of a sudden, like when that wasn't working, because people would be like, I'm just, I'm not getting sick. I'm just getting like a cold. It was just fucking felt like a cold. Then they were like, they had all these vaccines produced, from these pharmaceutical companies. Like they have to have people take it so they get their money. So then they were trying to bribe you. Remember that? They were trying to bribe you. They were like, they were giving fat fucks gift cards to Kentucky Fried Chicken. They're like, yo, motherfucker, yo, you come to KFC right now, right? You get a fucking 10-piece or a bucket of chicken, whatever you fucking monsters are eating. We'll give you this fucking gift card as long as you show proof that you got the vaccine, right? They try to bribe you. It was crazy. Fucking trying to bribe you, man. They're trying to give you fucking Duncan Hines cupcakes. Just as long as you get that fucking vaccine, we'll give you free brownies. Ridiculous, right? And then that shit didn't work. And then we're like, you know what? Now we gotta fucking threaten you. We gotta threaten your livelihood. They went to companies, right? They went to corporations, straight to corporations, and they told them, like, this came from the federal government. If your employees do not take the vaccine, they're not allowed to go back to their jobs. What does that mean? I'll tell you what it means. If you have a family or your way of life that you need to like support your family, they're forcing you to take that fucking shot. They're forcing you to fucking inject a needle into your fucking veins, into your fucking arm, into your fucking bloodstream. Okay? That's crazy. That's hypocrisy right there. Okay, so it goes back to what I was saying before. Who are your real owners? Okay? If the federal government, guys like our president, Biden, Fauci, all these motherfuckers, they just flipped the script like that. Okay. The owners fucking told them to flip the script. Okay. You change your fucking tune and they changed that shit. And I tell you, nobody blinked. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, I have to take it. Who do I feel bad for? I feel bad for the people that knew it was wrong, but they were forced to take the shot because they had to go to work. They had to have a livelihood. They had to make payments on a house, make payments on a car, make payments for your kids, make payments for your school. They had no choice. It wasn't a choice. And man, that goes down in history as one of the worst fucking things. And you know what? There's still people out there that still believe that no, fuck them. They had to do it. They had to do the right thing. They had to protect me and you. The shot wasn't fucking protecting you, dumbass. It never was. They fucking lied to you. The government fucking lied to you. When are people going to actually wake the fuck up? You know? Very frustrating that I feel like I'm like the new Alex Jones. It's crazy. Like, how do people not know this? You know, that there has to be people that know this. You're like, just it's a quick search of like Google. Just look up what happened. Look at the timeline. Look at the change of tunes. Look what they did. You know? Oh, it's crazy. Really is crazy. Just man, if you're lucky enough to not have to take the shot, you know, if you're lucky enough, like listen, count your blessings because man, I see people online, you see the horror stories of people just dropping dead, you know? People just fucking, you know, collapsing, dying, athletes. I think there was a story. I'm trying to find it here. All right, check this one out. So remember Novak Djokovic, you know, he was the tennis star that refused to get vaccinated. I think that's his name. I hate pronouncing shit. When I look at words, sometimes I just can't pronounce it. I'm sorry. Novak. I mean, this is how he spells his last name. I know if somebody tells me the name, I'm like, oh, obviously that's him. But this motherfucker spells his last name DJOKOVIC. Novak Djokovic. I want to say that's the fucking name, but I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. But anyway, it was a big story. He refused to get the vaccination. He wasn't allowed to come to the United States to play tennis because he wasn't vaccinated. Like people really thought he was just going to hop on a plane, come here, and just spread the fucking virus to everybody, which is ridiculous. So anyway, crazy story that came out about that. 59-year-old sports writer, Mike Dixon, right? You know, he despised, you know, Novak. He despised the tennis star for not getting vaccinated, right? He was all up in his fucking business, writing articles, all that kind of shit. All of a sudden, he just suddenly dies. Suddenly dies, you know, while covering the Australian Open. You know, he shamed Novak for not getting vaccinated, you know, all the fucking time, you know. He just collapsed and died. Yeah, I mean, really strange hill to die on, huh? And now, like, of course, they're saying, like, oh, it's unclear what exactly caused his death. Listen, I'm not a fucking doctor, okay? But it's either the vaccine or it's either COVID itself that are making normally healthy people just suddenly die. It doesn't happen that way. There's a lot of articles coming out, athletes, regular people just collapsing and dying off this shit. And instead of like wanting to do the research and looking like, you know, what's going on, like what's really happening, people are just fighting each other over it. Oh, here comes the anti-vaxxers with their fucking stories. Like, I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but it's just like it's not common for people just to drop dead. Like, I want to know for my fucking own well-being. Is it the jab? Is it a certain jab? Is it the Johnson and Johnson? Is it the other fucking shit? Is there certain, you know, shots that are doing it? That was made at a certain period. Is it COVID itself? Is it leading to fucking your heart getting all fucked up? From being infected with this shit. Like, wouldn't people want to do research and like know what the fucking truth is? But instead, we have people arguing and being nasty about it to each other, like over it. It's not the right way. It's not the fucking right way. I want to know what the fucking truth is. I don't care if I'm wrong. Maybe it's actually COVID itself. Maybe it's long-term COVID that are impacting these fucking people. I don't know. Wouldn't you want to know? I would want to know. But you know what? I'm relying on my own immune system. And I'll play my cards that way. Let's see what happens. Shit. I mean, we only got like, on average, like 70 to 80 years. Unless you get frozen like Walt Disney, you have your fucking frozen head, and then you wake up in like fucking the year 3000 and you get your head put on a fucking new body. Not gonna lie, that'd be pretty fucking badass. Waking up in like 2000 years. Like, oh shit. What the fuck? But anyway, let me leave you with some good news before I leave this podcast. So, something around the world I came across. So a dad is suing, right? Because he hasn't stopped farting since he ate a ham roll in 2017. Okay? This is a true fucking story. So this guy, I think it's like in the UK or whatever, he's suing the maker of the ham rolls because he just can't stop farting. You know what I'm saying? And he's suing somebody. I'm like, listen, motherfuckers, I haven't stopped farting since fucking 96. Okay, where's my money? Okay, I don't know what to blame it on. What do I blame it on? Nestle Quick? Should I go sue Nestle Quick because I've had their fucking powdered mix that I mixed with fucking chocolate. I put like, yeah, I used to put in like probably 8 to 10 scoops of that shit. All right. Fucking mix it in chocolate milk, mix it in the regular milk, make it chocolate milk, Nestle Quick, bang, farts galore. You know what I mean? And should I sue? Should I sue for that? But then I stumbled upon Strawberry Quick. Okay. Strawberry Quick, fantastic. I remember when I first discovered that, I was like, oh shit. I didn't even know I like strawberry. Fucking put like 8 to 10 scoops of that shit in there. I was like, holy shit. I think I started drinking Strawberry Quick because I listened to House of Pain. It's like strawberry sick. Strawberry Quick makes me sick. He had that line, had that lyric in there, but I was like, I don't think Strawberry Quick is gonna make me sick. I mean, it looks disgusting, but let me try it. That shit probably fucked up my stomach. You know, I could blame the farts on that shit. But listen, we all fart. Everybody does. Men, women, we all fart. It's just a common thing. We were farting since birth. You know what I mean? We came out the womb, like, you know, that's how we got down. But I feel bad. Apparently, this guy, he just like, it's like nonstop. He just keeps farting. Like, it's like not just like once a day. Apparently, it's just like over and over again since like 2017. How you gonna fucking go to your job and just fucking letting them rip? And apparently, he's saying it's like they're loud and he can't control them. So they just come out and like he could be like in random like board meetings, and this motherfucker's just like, "Brr." you know. I mean, how crazy is that? He just show up to work. Hey, listen, I got a condition. Here's my doctor's note. I fart all the time. A lot of times they're loud. Sometimes they're not. And when they're not, they're pretty deadly. So I could literally clear out the room. It's amazing, man. It really is amazing what goes on in the world. That this motherfucker just be farting all the fucking time. Like, how does he go to like a wake? Like, if one of his friends dies, he just fucking go in there, letting him rip. Crazy, man. I hope I really hope he's not making it up and just trying to sue to collect a quick buck like those McDonald's people that like, oh, your cheeseburgers made me fat, or like coffee was too hot, so I'm suing Dunkin' Donuts. I'm hoping and praying that that's not the case. I'm hoping this is very true. Like, that he really just can't stop farting because that's amazing. I mean, you hear these fucking crazy stories going on with like just random people around the world, and they're just like, they're all fucked up. They got some, and listen, everybody goes through something, but these motherfuckers, like, if that's real, that is some, you know. I mean, how do you have a relationship? Well, it gotta be fun to have a relationship with just farting all the time. It'd be fucking hilarious. Like, oh, say, hey, honey, what are we doing? Go out with your fucking friends and shit, just fucking farting, everybody laughing. So that shit's fucking hysterical. I'm telling you, if you're a guy and you fart, you can be farting until you're fucking 106. That shit will still be fucking funny. So I don't listen. I don't feel bad for him. But like, listen, everybody does like go through some fucking crazy shit. Yeah, I was watching what TV shows? I was watching the Pimple Popper MD. There's a show like I forgot what channel it is, but she's like Dr. Pimple. Like she's fucking this hot Asian fucking doctor, right? This woman doctor, she's fucking hot as balls. And she like, takes care of everybody's like cysts and all these fucking like pimples they got on their face. And some one dude, he had like some fucking shit on the side of his head. He's like, oh, I ain't getting it fixed. And then 8 years later, it's like fucking, it's like another head, right? And then she's cutting that shit open and she's pulling out this fucking, yeah, it looked like a fucking football she fucking pulled out of this fucking guy's head. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I mean, these people just walk around with this fucking shit in the side. And apparently this guy worked construction. So he was losing his jobs because the helmets wouldn't fit over his fucking other head. I mean, like, yeah, it's crazy. It really is crazy. You watch the shit, like, not just like the pimple poppers, like, but the hoarders where they're just hoarding everything. They just have to keep every fucking piece of garbage known to man. And then it's just, it's crazy. A lot of people in this world is just fucking like absolute lunatics. Maybe that's the next fucking TV show we should. I mean, even though it's kind of like done, but after me and Nick, do the whole like religion documentary, maybe we should just like interview these random people that have shit going on with them. I would love to interview the fucking guy that farts all the fucking time. I mean, I don't know how long like our interview would last with this fucking guy, before I have to fucking like call it quits. I'm like, this guy farts too much. I gotta get the fuck out of here. But man, oof. All right, so I did ramble on about a lot of stuff. I had a lot of topics to discuss on this podcast. So listen, I hope you enjoyed it. Um, Hopefully I kept it interesting. A lot of shit going on. So don't hate me for my political views, but listen, I don't have skin in the game on any side or any religion or any race or any creed, any of that shit. I just want what's, you know, good for the world, good for fucking people. I don't want to have to see people go through shit, no matter what they fucking believe. I don't want to have a certain group of people get destroyed, killed, shit on, have their lives devastated. And you know what I mean? It's just what's wrong is wrong and what's right is right. Man, just like have a little peace in the world. Didn't John Lennon want some fucking peace in the world? Right? Then they killed him. JFK, he wanted things to change in the world, and he got killed too. Makes you think, right? Definitely makes you think. But listen, be careful out there. Okay. Like, subscribe to the podcast. Do all that kind of shit. And don't be a dick. Keep that ass tight. Time's a wasting. Whatever the fuck that other guy says usually. And then, maybe we'll see you next week. All right. So be safe out there, people. We out. Or I'm out. Peace.
The cat in the box.
The Lord spoke to me. He said, stretch forth. Tell the people to put their hands against yours, and I will heal them. Get $18 million by the weekend. Touch the screen. Touch the screen.
You see the face on the TV screen.